Hello everybody, Lawrence Fleming here again. I have a new location, moved campsites. I haven't been at this spot before, so we're going to have to explore it, but I won't take you around with me until I find things worth looking at, so you don't have to be bored. Right now you can see that I've got a lot of trees around me, and there's a big field behind me. And I'm sure that there are critters in the trees that you can't see. It's afternoon, they're going to be bedded down right now. They take naps. Sounds good to me about right now anyway. Okay, first off I want to apologize for getting a little bit political. I hate doing that. I generally don't. But when I heard about the Israeli attack on Syria, I know that's getting serious, so I had to go look at that, and I looked at some of the news networks, and they aggravate me. So I will run out into the wilderness and scream and get it all out of me, and then I'll come back and make a video. I expect lies and everything from certain news media, but now it seems like all of them. So enough of that. No more talking about politics. You know the definition of politics, don't you? Poly is Latin for many. Ticks are blood-sucking insects. Okay, so that's all you're going to hear out of me on that. There is so much coming to a head. There's so much that they're working on right now. Any one of them can trigger the end. We're not focused on whether or not we're going to be part of any of the end time activities. We're supposed to be out of here. So we don't need to worry about them. Other than we can tell people about them so that they can make their own decision. I need to get my phone further away from my face. I find myself trying to decide which way to look. I need to be looking at the camera, which is on the left of the phone, not the right. So here's the right, here's the left. And it's awkward because I can't see myself looking at that spot. Okay. My guess is that if we're looking for an opportune time, and these are guesses, no dates, and the date setting has to do with the second coming anyway. It's got nothing to do with a bug flying around my camera. It's distracting. I love it when things start to go wrong like that. It means I'm doing something right. Get out of here, bug. Nature trails have their own stories to tell and their own reactions. Okay, I'm banking on May as being the most opportune time in our current environment to get out of here. There's all kinds of things that can happen. We've got the Damascus destruction, we've got the Gog-Magog war, we've got our collapsing economies. All these things are in our near future, but none of them really affect us. What we got to pay attention to is what's going to happen to get us out of here. There's going to have to be something catastrophic up front. I'm not talking about any of the SEALs or any of that other stuff. I think we got to be out of here before that. Something big has got to happen before that. The Damascus situation might be something big enough to do that. I don't think we're ready for Gog-Magog until maybe fall. Russia doesn't seem that they can handle a whole countrywide war. You don't know how much the ineptness that we've seen is because they are inept or they are trying to look like they are. I don't know. The media is not going to help us. But Russia's not doing a really good job, so they're going to ask for help. They've already asked for help from Arab states that are against Israel. the Arab states that are for Israel don't want to have anything to do with this, and they're going to be the ones that are going to be like the end times verses talk about. Are you coming down here for spoils? They're going to want to know why Russia's coming down here. And that's really the only thing to go in there for. Russia doesn't care one way or the other about the existence of Israel. It's not a religious thing to them. There are some Orthodox Russians that might want to see something done with it, but Israel's pretty stable. There's no point in coming in and sticking your nose into a stable situation. Yeah, there's rockets being fired at them, but they're handling them. They know where they're coming from. If they just had some more help, which Russia's not helping, if they had more help, they could deal with Iran. We were helping in the United States at one point in time, but now we're sitting on our hands. So that's going to be part of the trigger. Somebody's bound and determined to use a nuke. I don't know who it's going to be, but there's a number of countries that have them. It's too bright out here to be out in the sun, so let me get back in the shade here. See if I can get some good reflective light. There we go. I'll stop moving around. So I'm looking at the month of May, because we're almost done with April. In May we have my birthday, a birthday present from God, getting me out of here. And that's, my birthday is the day after Cinco de Mayo, so we gotta at least stay here till those are over with. But we have the second Passover. I don't think it's tied, I don't think us getting out of here is tied to any event, Jewish or otherwise. I think the rapture is just simply part of the timing of something happening big and getting us out of here. So we're not going to look to these dates, but those dates could coincide with whatever happens after the rapture. If they want to tank the world economy, get all of us Christians out of here, that ought to do that really well. Satan's got to be thrown out of heaven. I'd love to be able to watch that. But when he gets down here, he's going to be fit to be tied. And when he does, he's going to go after Israel. Again, that's not something that we should be directly involved in. So, I mean, when they say it could be literally any time, it means any time. Don't try to put a date on it, because we don't know, and it's not going to be a valid date. Those who have tried to pick dates in the past have done really good jobs of calculating to the nth degree why it has to be this date, and they've been wrong every time, because it's not going to be, the rapture is not going to be tied to a date. It's going to be a saving move to get us out of here. Whatever happens right after that can all be tied to dates. Once the tribulation time frame kicks back off, I do like what Brenda Weltner has talked about it being split. Something has to be different in our calculation for the final day, because we're out of time. We've been out of time. We had the Revelation 12 sign in 2017. We're still here. Now, we didn't see the sign of the dragon that followed, but that's what I'm waiting on next. Satan getting thrown to earth will cause him to basically know that he's so little time, he's got to do everything he can fast. He's going to go after Israel, but he may try to go after anybody else who's been supportive of Israel, which means the United States or the rest of the world. If we have an atomic bomb go off any place, that would cause a major concern to all the countries. any country that was on the verge of collapse probably would. There's so many other things that could cause economies to collapse because they're all being pushed to the limit right now. I keep saying, we don't know the time, so prep. Store up food. If we have to go all the way through summer, what are they going to do? I don't like talking politics, but I have to talk a little bit about it. This is an election year in the United States. If we get in with all of our people properly, we would reverse, the Republicans would reverse everything the Democrats have done. They would lose years of planning and all this excitement. Just look at how upset they were with Elon Musk buying Twitter. So they don't want to have all this go to waste, all that they've done, all the destruction that they've done to this country. They don't want it to go to waste. They have something planned. Now, I know that they're trying to do all kinds of things from all different directions. They're still pushing on the January 6th trial. If they can come up with a way to, and with their controlled liberal judges, come up with a way to block politicians, Republican politicians, from running in November, whose seats are up. If they don't get back in, they might be able to put a Democrat in there. So they're going to try to keep them. They're going to disqualify them if they can. They're trying that right now. They're doing everything they can. I just heard that Disney is fighting the punishment by the Florida governor for their behavior, saying that if you take away our powers, you have to pay all of our debt off. Well, I can't believe anybody would be stupid enough to sign a contract like that. So there's got to be some legal mumbo jumbo going on there. Politicians are usually lawyers. They seem to be the best at arguing things, so I'm sure that they've looked into that, but I'm not hearing a lot going on right now. So they're all investigating their law books, looking for reasons to continue with each side. The devil is going to fight back on every challenge. And when he can, he's not only going to fight back, he's going to destroy the opposition. Look at what they do with the politician. They don't try to remove him from office or from running. They try to destroy him. They bring people out of the woodwork who you've never heard of in your entire life and never will again after the event's over, to say, well, I saw him do this or that. He had an affair with me 1,000 times while nobody was watching, even though everybody was watching, and never saw it. You can pay people enough money to go up on court and lie, because they're not going to investigate. Once they're done, if they've done enough damage and the person doesn't get in, everybody gets paid and wanders off and you never hear of them again. And nobody wants to keep digging up mud, so they don't go after. Occasionally they would try to prosecute the liars, but most of the time they don't. They're just glad that it's over with. And they know that, and that's why they do it. Yeah, hello, bird. It's right above me. I can't look at him, the sun's up there. So as much as I don't like to watch the news, so that I can tell you I have to, I just have to make sure that I read a couple of chapters or something to calm myself back down. Well, it's a nice calm day. It was an easy move to get here, and I'm in a shady spot, which is good in the summer. We're not quite there yet. It still gets into the 50s, maybe it touches 40 a little bit, in the 40s, which isn't bad. If I don't roll out of bed until 8 o'clock, you don't think I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to release a video, do you? I schedule it so I don't have to. And with the Wi-Fi or the internet the way it is lately, I have to go someplace and try to find a Wi-Fi hotspot that I can upload. I can't just upload when I feel like it. I can try out here, and it would maybe take an hour or two, maybe. And it goes onto my usage plan, and video doesn't take very long to use up that whole plan. But this will be for tomorrow. We'll see what's going on. Dr. Barry Ah has another video up. I haven't been able to watch it because I can't get enough Wi-Fi. So I'm going to have to go out later and try to find a spot where I can watch his video. He's fun and interesting to watch. Both he and Brenda do one thing which I find difficult, and that is they go into so much detail because they've spent hours and hours researching everything that I find it difficult to be able to keep up. So I got to kind of have time to watch it, digest a little bit, and then go back and watch some more, maybe a couple of viewings. A lot of people have goats. I don't know how to flip the camera, so I'm going to have to just physically turn it around. So I'm going to do that real quickly. They know how to handle a quiet afternoon. Just sit around in the shade. Okay, we'll keep praying for everybody. I know we're getting some prayer requests dropping down in my chat, and I'm of course praying for everybody there, and I'm expecting to hear results back, good results. You need to pray for these people too. If they say, you know, I need help, I've got a problem with my son or my parents or anything like that, add them to your prayer list. Anytime you get a prayer request, pick up on it. You're in the right spot to hear the prayer request. So you're in the delegation that's supposed to handle it. We don't know why people go through problems the way they do. Sometimes it's to strengthen them, sometimes so they can help others going through the same problem. Whatever the situation, always pray for God's will to be done. And that's part of our daily prayer anyway. The Lord's Prayer says that. Okay, I'm going to walk on back, if I can find where the trail starts. There it is. And then I'll keep doing this. Saturday, I am working, so I may or may not have a video. We just have to wait and see. Maybe you can handle one day. I'll give you two the next. How's that? I'll give you two today because I had to give you the update, so we're ahead. Okay, everybody, have a good weekend coming up, because this will come out tomorrow on Friday. Be kind to someone today. And we may see you in the clouds soon. My guess has always been somewhere around May 14th is the anniversary of Israel becoming a nation. But again, that's a date. Trying to line up to it. I don't think the rapture is going to be tied to any date. But it could be the day before. Have absolutely nothing to do with anything going on the 13th. Don't be looking to a biblical date to match up to. Look at a date on either side of it, or a week before. You're not going to know. But we're going to be safe. Till we meet in the clouds, God bless.